Good day, GCPSS 2020 delegates, both those of you attending in person and those of you attending online. I would just like to say a special word of thanks to the respective conference chairs for allowing me to present my conference paper through this platform. My name is Storm Watson. I'm a junior lecturer at the Nelson Mandela University. I'm also a master's student nearing the completion of my master's degree. I've co-authored this paper titled Assessing Customer Attitudes Towards Zero-Waste Shopping with Professor Alroy Eugene Smith, who is a full professor at the Nelson Mandela University. As mentioned, the title of this conference paper is Assessing Customers' Attitudes Towards Zero-Waste Shopping. Despite the growing concerns for the natural environment and overall public health, waste levels in South Africa remain alarmingly high. A solution that's been suggested to overcome the rising level of waste is the practice of zero-waste shopping. The purpose of this paper was to assess customer attitudes towards zero-waste shopping. In any modern society, waste is the ultimate symbol of inefficiency and represents a total misallocation of resources. Waste generation is one of the greatest challenges that's faced by society, and according to the World Bank of 2018, by the year 2050, global waste will increase by 70% if action is not taken immediately. This conceptualization of zero waste is the most visionary idea for addressing global waste issues. The research problem outlined in this paper was that South African consumers have begun to realize the importance of environmental issues and the resulting health problems associated with these issues. South Africans have thus progressively become more open to solving these issues regarding environmental protection and have also become sensitive to the use of environmentally friendly products, which has given rise to the debate of zero-waste shopping. A study of this nature could assist in recommending to firms on how they can adapt their product or service offerings to enhance environmental sustainability and assist in educating their consumers on waste management practices. The main research question to be addressed in this paper is thus, what are customers' perceptions regarding zero-waste shopping in Nelson Mandela Bay, South Africa specifically? The purpose of this paper was to assess customer perceptions regarding zero-waste shopping. In order to achieve this objective, a quantitative research approach was followed, using structured, self-administered questionnaires. The study made use of a quantitative research methodology and therefore used a positivist research paradigm. The methodology assessed the attitudes and practices of consumers in Nelson Mandela Bay with regards to zero-waste shopping. The study made use of a descriptive research approach and analysis to acquire the relevant data that assisted in determining the attitudes and practices of consumers towards zero-waste shopping in Nelson Mandela Bay, South Africa. The population of the study consisted of all consumers in Nelson Mandela Bay. As it was impossible to assess all consumers in Nelson Mandela Bay, a sample was selected from the target population. The study made use of non-probability sampling, and more specifically convenience and judgmental sampling was used, as individuals were selected on the basis of their availability and their willingness to participate in the study. The sample size of this study consisted of 150 consumers residing in Nelson Mandela Bay, South Africa. The items contained in the measuring instrument, namely the questionnaire, was sourced from existing measuring instruments, and some of the items were self-developed. The questionnaire administered to the respondents required them to evaluate their responses using a 5-point Likert type ordinal scale, as well as a dictonymous scale. The questionnaire consisted of 4 sections. Section A determined the respondents' general perceptions regarding waste management and environmental sustainability. Section B investigated consumers' general attitudes towards zero-waste shopping. Section C assessed practices of individuals regarding zero waste. And finally, Section D focused on the biographical information of the respondents. The data analysis used in this study. The primary data collected from the administered questionnaires was captured using Microsoft Excel and analyzed through Statistica, a statistical and analytical computer program. Descriptive statistics was used, namely a measure of central tendency, which calculated the mean, and dispersion, which calculated the standard deviation, and frequency distributions in the form of percentages. Reliability testing was done through calculating the Cronbach alpha values. The key findings from this empirical review is illustrated in Table 1. Table 1 illustrates descriptive statistics and frequency distributions relating to general perceptions regarding waste management and environmental sustainability and zero-waste shopping, indicating the mean, standard deviation, and percentage of respondents. Please note that the response categories on the 5-point Likert scale for the various statements in the questionnaire were categorized as follows: responses from 1 to 2.333, was seen as respondents disagreeing to the statements. 2.33 to 3.667 were seen as respondents being neutral towards the statements in the self-administered questionnaire, and 3.667 to 5.00 were seen as respondents agreeing to the statements in the questionnaire. In order to assess the reliability of the measuring instrument, Cronbach alpha coefficient was used. The reliability testing of these results can also be seen on Table 1, and it can be clearly seen on Table 1 that all the factors used in the measuring instrument appears to be internally reliable, as all Cronbach alphas have a value above 0.7. The key findings from Section A and Section B of the questionnaire indicated that respondents' knowledge of zero-waste shopping was found that although respondents agreed to the basic principles of zero waste, such as waste avoidance, reuse, recycling, and reduction of waste generation, they often lack knowledge with regards to the efficient implementation thereof. Results pertaining to food waste indicated that respondents agreed that there was an excessive food waste within the economy and that it has a negative effect on the environment. Respondents had strong feelings related to the fact that the cost of wasted edible food could alternatively be used to feed the hungry. Statements used to determine respondents' attitudes towards zero waste indicated that the majority of respondents have a neutral attitude towards the concept of zero waste, yet they have strong feelings about the possible effects it has on the environment. They also indicated that they are impartial about the fact that they already implement zero waste practices in their personal daily lives. The impact of waste factors showed that respondents are knowledgeable of the impact that waste has on the environment and on their overall public health. The challenges of zero waste proved to be the factor that recorded the highest overall mean score, indicating that the majority of respondents agree that there are various challenges related to the successful implementation of zero waste. The major challenge that affects the successful implementation of zero waste within the Nelson Mandela Bay region is that generally individuals, governments, and schools appear to be uninterested about the efficient management of waste and the subsequent implementation of waste management practices such as zero waste shopping. The results of the benefits of zero waste factor displayed that respondents are aware of the various benefits that zero waste could pose. It was also noted that the most significant benefit of zero waste, according to the respondents, is the fact that it reduces the hazard to overall public health. It was also noted that respondents agree to the fact that zero waste can have a positive effect on the natural environment by reducing the extraction of natural resources, thus aiding in the efficient allocation thereof. 10 statements were used to investigate which general practices respondents undertake in their daily lives with regards to zero waste shopping. These results indicated in Table 2. Table 2 summarizes the frequency of respondents in percentage format of the various zero waste shopping practices that they undertake on a regular basis. It can be noted that of the 15 practices that respondents could have chosen from, bracket 11, which is passing items on for continued reuse, stood out among all the other zero waste shopping practices, as it recorded the highest number of respondents indicating that they always engage in this practice. 59% of the respondents indicated that they always engage in this practice. Therefore, it can be deduced that the most respondents strive to continuously reuse items such as clothing. This is supported by the results obtained from practice 14, which states that 53% of respondents always reuse leftover food in order to avoid food waste, as well as practice number 8, which reports that 50% of respondents always use an item as much as they can before they finally discard of it. From these statements, it can be concluded that residents in Nelson Mandela Bay regularly reuse items, and more specifically food and clothing, as these are seen as necessities and not something that should be discarded of. Practices 5, 6, 12, and 15 were the main practices that the majority of respondents indicate they never engage in. The common thread amongst these practices related to the fact that it takes personal commitment, action, and initiative from respondents in order to engage in these practices. For example, 59% of respondents state that they never make their own cleaning materials, which is seen in practice 6, while 55% of respondents specify that they never make handmade gifts. Furthermore, the practice 15, that the most respondents never undertook in, 66% of respondents indicated they never undertake in this specific practice, is that of having their own compost heat at home to aid in the proper disposal of ineditable food waste. Practice 4 was the practice the majority of respondents admit to only sometimes engaging in. From this result, it can be concluded that respondents only purchase products that are environmentally friendly when it is convenient for them and does not particularly go out of their way to purchase these products. This is supported by the results obtained from practice 1, 2, 3, 7, and 9. All of these practices have a similar theme, in that they relate to the ease with which respondents are able to undertake them. If it is convenient and requires minimal effort on the part of the respondent, then they will engage in this practice. However, if the practice requires any more effort than normal, then the respondents will be discouraged from participating in this practice. Zero waste should be a lifestyle that embraces minimalism, rejects disposable of items found everywhere in society, challenges mainstream consumerism, and encourages people to come up with alternative, reusable solutions to everyday life. It is envisioned that the findings of the study would provide both businesses and consumers with a theoretical framework to adopt the zero waste lifestyle. We only have one planet. We need to look after it. I hope that the study and future studies in the field of sustainability would break the barrier of resistance of consumers to change their behaviors and provide a healthy, safe, and clean environment for our future generations. Thank you so much.